the end of the day. And,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
to come back and, you know, we always talk about, people like to knock people down, bring them back again. And it just has that ebb and flow kind of thing to it. But it's been good. That IPL was one of the things where I enjoyed, was coming back, not having to captain, and being under Kane, who's one of the nicest blokes in the world,
Yeah,
and seeing his knowledge about the game and how he reads the game.
yeah,
Um, it was good in that sense as well, because I got to just enjoy the game, which
yeah,
you know, it sort of, people don't realize the pressures that actually come with performing in every single game that you play, whether it's for Australia, India, IPL franchises, or the hardest thing I find back playing is like domestic cricket, like same as you, Ranji Trophy, because there's
yeah,
more focus on you. You play for your country, where you should be dominating state cricket, which
yeah,
you should be, but sometimes you're not going to be able to.
yeah.
It's very difficult. Like, you know, some of the guys you've never faced before, never seen before, you can get a good ball.
Yeah, I mean,
You
especially
know.
after playing so much international cricket, you have to go back and play state cricket. It's kind of, challenging for you to pick up and be motivated to go and perform. It's not that
Yeah,
easy, because you're always used to playing under the high pressure situation with so many people watching you in the stands, uh, and suddenly that being taken out, it's kind of challenging, and it's little, you got to find motivation to go out there and play, which
yeah,
is why you do you try and not get dropped from the squad. That's what happens. If
yeah,
in India, I don't know about Australia, like, a lot of you guys still, while you're playing for the national team, you still go and play domestic cricket. But for us here, it's very tough to play domestic cricket, because our domestic season and international calendars, they're together, so we really
yeah,
can't play domestic cricket unless you're dropped from the team. Only then
yeah,
you have chance to go back and play.
yeah.
um, Speaking of this empty stands, you guys were the only team who experienced that against New Zealand. The first ODI you guys played, it was in empty stands. How did that feel? I think this is going to be the future of cricket, at least for a while.
The most bizarre thing was, as a batsman, when you play a shot or the bowler bowls the ball, you always look up to watch the replay. There was
Yeah,
no replays.
yeah,
There was
that's
nothing.
true. Yeah, yeah,
So you hit a shot, and all you hear is the echo of the cricket ball, and
yes,
then you might hear one or two claps from the boys. But
yeah,
it was really bizarre. Like, we're so used to calling yes, no, and I was like, you don't need to say it that loud anymore. Like, it's like yes,
yeah,
mate. But
yeah,
it was really really bizarre. It was literally like we were playing a warm up game. Like, it was really surreal. It was it, it wasn't hard to get up and play it, but like, it was more the fact that, like, you're like, how do you know what it's like at home watching the game? Like, it was really really bizarre. But it was a good game that we played against each other. But I don't know how long you can sort of sustain that, because you you gain your you gain momentum from home crowd advantage. You gain your momentum from, when you hit a nice shot, the clapping from the crowd, it gives you that motivation,
yeah,
and gives you the adrenaline. It is so bizarre. And like, now our rugby league is starting up again, and they're playing in front of no crowds as well. You know, I watched a couple of games before on TV before it got shut down. It's just weird watching.
yeah.
It's really weird. So like, it's very hard. I don't know what it's going to be like if we come there and the IPL goes ahead at the end of the year. You got to be very, the government's doing this for the right reasons. Obviously,
Yeah.
lives are being lost. It's not like, they're not saying don't go outside because, they just don't want you to get infected. They don't want you to catch it. They don't want you to spread it.
Yeah,
And like, here, a lot of the people have been listening, and there's a lot of people who haven't been listening.
yeah, it's the
So
same
it's
same
challenging.
situation in India as well. And we've got so many people here. That's very hard, and it's very hard to control everybody. Like you saw what happened outside the liquor shop. Um,
I
But
saw
yeah,
police making people do push-ups in the street.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they're finding ways to scare people. Like, like that is one of the things that they did. The other thing they did was chopped off someone's head with the razor. You know, went took him, made him absolutely bald. So they're doing different kind of like all this weird kind of stuff to make people scared. But eventually, it's our responsibility to make sure that just try and stay indoors. And the only way we can contain this is by doing that. There is no other
Yeah,
way
exactly.
until we find a cure or a medicine for this. We got to
Yeah,
stay indoors. I mean, that's really the only thing we.
exactly. I got one question with Shika. Does he make you face the first ball?
He's an idiot. What can I say? He doesn't like it, man. He doesn't like to face the first ball.
He always says to me, the
Yeah,
only time he ever wanted to face the first ball was when Harbhajan was bowling.
yeah.
He
He
goes,
likes
he
to
goes.
take on the spinners, but he doesn't like to take on the fast bowlers. Uh, but
I
yeah,
was
I mean,
like, same as
I
Finchy.
remember.
Finchy always makes me face the first ball.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's the same here. I remember there was this. This was way back in 2013, the day when I started opening the batting for India in limited overs. It was my first game as an opener, second game as an opener uh, in Champions Trophy. And Shikhar, I asked Shikhar, okay, Shikhar, we're playing against South Africa, guys like Steyn, Morkel. I've never faced them with the new ball. Okay, so you got to take the strike, man. He's like, no, Rohit. I mean, you've been playing for a while. This is my first tour. I mean, I want to. I can't. I mean, you got to do it. I said, really? The guy who's a regular opener doesn't want to take the strike, and he wants me to take the strike. And then I took the strike. The first few balls, Morkel bowled. Morkel was Morne Morkel
Quick.
was yeah, he was bowling the new ball. The first three balls, I didn't see the first three balls honestly because I was not expecting the bounce.
Yeah,
I was not ready for it, and I don't know how the new ball will do.
yeah,
Especially in England. And if I remember, it was absolutely cold that day as well.
yeah.
But then that was my first experience with Shikhar. But now, yeah, we're comfortable, like shit, talking
Because that's
about okay, if I've
Finchy
told him,
always says to me. Like he says, if it's a left arm fast bowler, he wants me to face because he doesn't want the ball coming back into him.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
the same thing for me. I don't want the ball swinging away from me
yeah. I mean,
because we're not
I
used to it.
yeah, I mean, especially now, I here I in Mumbai Indians, I open with Quinton de Kock, and he's brilliant. He told me the first day, okay, here's the deal. We will do it alternate games. Okay, that's fair. I mean,
Yeah,
alternate games. Okay, you take one game, I will take one game. That's fine. I mean,
yeah,
that's more than enough. But I mean, I'm used to it now. I take the first ball every time. So for me, right now, it doesn't make a difference. But imagine the first time I was opening the batting, and then this guy comes and says, "No, I can't take the strike." I mean, sometimes he's very annoying as well. Like in the middle, I'm setting up the plan. Okay, this guy is bowling, and this is his plan. We have to try and do this. 5 seconds later, he goes, "Okay, what did you say?" I mean, imagine, you're under tremendous pressure. You're in the middle of the game, and then this guy comes and says all these things where it kind of makes you frustrated. You don't know how to react to that.
One thing I always love batting when I was batting with Shika. Without fail, last ball, he's going to run a single.
Yeah, yeah, yes, he
Without
wants to do
fail,
that.
first ball and last ball, he will run no matter
Yeah,
what. And it's
yeah,
always like a little dab to point.
yeah. And
Who,
he's got that weird thing where when he defends the ball, he takes that one or two steps and then he
you
goes
think
back
he's going to
again.
run?
Yeah,
You think
I
he's
mean,
going to run?
for a non-striker, it's so confusing whether he's going to run or not. So now I've decided over the years batting with him, I've decided I'm not going to run unless I see the ball. It's going in the gap. I have missed many runs also doing that, but I have no regret because I was in trouble many a times because of that. I said, boss,
I
unless I see the ball going in between, I'm not running.
I'm glad that you said that because I was like when I was batting with him at Hyderabad, I was like, I hope someone can say the same thing. It's very hard to judge. Very hard to judge. Unless he hit an aerial,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
wasn't running. I couldn't run.
Yeah, I mean, we've not ran out each other so many
It
times,
was
but still,
it was
it's
actually it was
really good.
very similar batting with Gigi. Gigi
Yeah,
was the same.
yeah, he likes to
Always
tap and
always
run.
look
Yeah,
to run to third man, or
yeah,
he'll run. Sometimes you know what it is. If they hit a good shot out of the middle, they'll run.
yeah. But I mean, I enjoy batting with him. The only reason is like he's so elegant on the offside, and he likes to
Oh
take on the bowlers with the new ball, and that allows me to take time because naturally I'm not an opener. So for me to find boundaries in the first 10 overs is not easy, which is why at times you see I like to go aerial and play those cross-batted shot, which
yeah,
has gotten me into trouble many a times. But Shikhar, on the other hand, he's so good with his hands on the offside, and
yeah,
if you look at the average boundaries that he hits, it's in the first 10 overs
yeah,
when the fielders are in, and he likes to do that. And I'm the opposite. I like once the field is spread, and I can take singles, and it makes my job easier as well when I'm batting with him. So in a
yeah,
way,
definitely.
he's a little irritating, but at the same time, he's done my job also. So I'm
No,
happy.
exactly, exactly. And that's one thing I liked about with him is he can relieve pressure in the matter
Yeah.
of two or three balls, always, because he's always looking to score.
Yeah, yeah, that's his mindset. With you've been with Sunriser for a lot of years now. How it has been now you've been appointed as a captain again. How's the franchisee? How's the owners? Do they put too much pressure of winning games? And is it like the same? Uh, with us, like with us, there is pressure for sure.
Yeah,
But that pressure, I think, as of now, I mean, we've started enjoying that pressure and we know how
yeah,
to handle that. Is it the
yeah,
same for you guys as well there?
yeah. I think early days. I think the hardest thing as I think a franchise owner because they're so successful in their right in what they do, they're very successful.
Yeah,
Um, for them to understand how a cricketer goes about their business, about their training. Um, some days, we're going to be waking up sore. How do you like transfer the training onto the field? You can't win every game. It's not possible to win every game. You might,
yeah,
but they've gotten so much better over the years I've been there. Like the last 3 or 4 years, minus the year that I was out, they've been wonderful. Like they understand exactly how we go about our business. Um, you always have the questions of, why, what went wrong. You always have your debriefs,
yeah,
and like at the end of the day, they're a great family. They're a very well respected family. I can't speak highly enough of, the chairman and his wife and his daughter. Like
yeah,
they always make us feel welcome, and I think that's the best thing about when you go to a successful franchise is that you feel like you're part of the furniture, like you're a
yeah,
family. You
yeah,
know, I know when I was at Delhi, I really enjoyed. Kieran was the owner from GMR.
yeah,
He's a wonderful guy, really
yeah,
wonderful guy.
yeah,
But sometimes in the back part of the business, you get a couple of people who might ruffle the feathers a little bit
yeah,
and cause some like animosity between players. And you can only play four overseas, so the hardest thing is if you've got a couple of overseas who believe they should be playing when you got a team who's been picked, you should be supporting the team. I know
yeah,
in past teams that I've played in have been like a bit like, I should have been playing, but it's like, hang on, the franchise can only pick four players. It's very difficult. So having been with Sunrisers, they totally understand everything, and I can't speak highly enough of them because they've treated me and my family well. They treat the guys well,
yeah,
and I think the respect that I have for them, obviously asking me to be captain again.
Yeah.
because I had so much respect for their decision last year, because it was right. They just wanted me to play with no pressure, freedom,
Yeah.
and do what I